Right. So when we write an expression, generally the expression contains a mix of constants, variables, which are of different data types. Okay, when evaluating such expression, generally the compiler uh, converts operand or variable of one data type into another data type. That is called as a type conversion. That is called as a type conversion. The type means here data type. You are converting one data type to another data type. Okay, so this is required when evaluating expressions. Okay, so type conversion in C can be two types. One is implicit type conversion, or you can also call it as type coercion. And second one is explicit type conversion. We can also call it as type casting. Okay, so implicit type conversion means the type conversion performed by the compiler is known as implicit type conversion. Okay, so this type of a conversion is performed by the compiler automatically. Okay, so how it performs, that means all data types of variables are upgraded to the data type of the variable with largest data type. Okay, in an expression, if there is a variable with the largest data type, then all other variables will be upgraded to this data type. Okay, so this is the hierarchy in which the data types are upgraded. Character will be upgraded to int, int will be upgraded to unsigned int, unsigned int will be upgraded to long int, and long int will be upgraded to unsigned long int, and this will be upgraded to float, and float will be upgraded to double, and double will be upgraded to long double. Okay, so this is the uh, data types from smallest data type to highest data type. Always smallest data type is converted to highest data type. Okay, right. Now an example, we'll take an example here. Okay, so yesterday we were talking about signed representation and unsigned representation. So out of 16 bits, 1 bit will be dedicated for storing the sign. If the sign bit is 0, it indicates that the given number is positive, and if the sign bit is 1, it indicates that the number is negative. Okay, right? So a simple example for implicit type conversion we can see here. So we declared a variable x whose value is 10, and a character variable y with a capital A stored in it, and a floating point variable z. Then here we are writing an expression z is equal to x plus y. That means we are trying to add an integer variable and a character variable, and the result we would like to store in a floating point variable. Okay, so all three are different data type variables. Okay, but still without any error, compiler gives a result when you print z value. Okay, so what is happening means it is internally performing implicit type conversion. It is performing internally implicit type conversion. That's how this character variable y will be converted to integer type, and x is also integer. Then the integer plus integer result will be an integer, and before storing this value in z, it will be converted to floating point type, because z is a floating point type. That's why when you print z, you will get this z value printed. Okay, so yesterday when we executed, we got the answer also. Okay, right. This is about implicit type conversion. Next, we'll talk about explicit type conversion. Explicit type conversion. Okay. So the type conversion performed by the user is known as explicit type conversion. Known as explicit type conversion. Okay, so that means the user performs a type conversion in the program. Okay, so that is called as a explicit type conversion. Sometimes the compiler may not do this. Okay, so explicitly we need to perform this type conversion in the program. and such type conversion is called as a explicit type conversion. Okay, so it takes following form. Okay, so explicit type conversion, how we need to perform in the program. Okay, so it will be like this. We have to write the type name within the parenthesis here. Okay, so then followed by some expression. If you want to convert this expression and end this with a semicolon. Okay, so this is the form in which we can perform a type conversion. Okay, so assume this is the expression of some type. Okay, so you want to convert into another type. Whatever type you want to convert, that must be enclosed in parenthesis before this expression. Before this expression. Okay, where here what we do is I write this in lowercase, where type name. Okay, so where type name one of the standard data type. Okay, so any standard data type you can specify in place of a type name. Okay, so the expression here, whatever expression you have written, may be a constant. Okay, so sometimes expression may be a constant, a variable, it may be sometimes a variable or an expression. It can be some other expression also. Okay, so this is the general form of performing a explicit type conversion. Explicit type conversion. It is also called as typecasting. Also called as typecasting. Okay, right? So examples, if we take examples for them, for example, okay, so I have some expression. Okay, I have some expression like something like 16 minus 5. Okay, 16 minus 5. Okay, then divided by 4. Assume I have some expression like this, 16 minus 5 divided by 4. Okay, so this 16 minus 5 I want to enclose in a parenthesis. Okay, so this has to be calculated first. 16 minus 5 divided by 4. So when you do this, 16 minus 5, how much you will get? You will get 11 here. Okay, so 11 by 4, you will get some value here. Okay, so if it has to perform this result, okay, so if it has to convert this into a floating point type, now 4 is a integer. Okay, so you can convert any of this, either numerator or denominator, into float type. For example, I am trying to convert this 4 into a float type, so then I can write before that constant within the parenthesis float. Okay, so what it will do here, 16 minus 5 will be 11. Okay, 16 minus 5 will be 11. Then float 4 means now this 4, integer 4, is converted into floating point type. Integer 4 will be converted into floating point type. Okay, so that means it looks to the compiler like this. Okay, so to compiler it will be like this after evaluating. 11 divided by float 4 means 4.0. it becomes 4.0 here. Okay, now see here, this is explicit type conversion. That means we are typecasting this integer 4 into floating point type. Then compiler will do that 4.0. Okay, so now what happened here, one integer and one floating point type is there. Now compiler automatically performs implicit type conversion. Okay, so this will be converted internally like this. It will 11 will be upgraded to 11.0 divided by 4.0. Okay, so now everything is converted into float type. Now it performs a floating point division and you will get the result a floating point answer. Okay, so all this whatever I have shown here, this is done internally. This is done internally, not visible to us. Only visible is the answer is visible to us. That's it. Okay, clear? Right? So another example, for example, if you want to store something like say for example int, I have some variable x. Okay, so x is equals to, okay, say something like 8.6 plus 3.4 is there. Okay, so these two floating point results are there with me. Okay, two floating point results are there with me. Okay, so I want to convert this entire thing into float type. Then what I have to do, I have to enclose this. I have to enclose this within the parenthesis. Okay, so whatever type I want to convert, then I can write this into integer type int. Okay, now 8.6 plus 3.4 will be calculated here. Okay, so then the result will be converted into integer type and that integer number will be stored in a x here. Integer number will be stored in a x here. Okay, right? Now, if you don't write a parenthesis here, what happens? That means what is the result I will get? Just I'll show here. Okay, so 8.6 plus 3.4 means so how much I will get? 8 plus 3, 11 plus 1, 12 I will get here. Okay, so 12.0 I will get here. The 12.0 will be converted into integer 12. It will be converted into integer means 12. Okay, so that 12 will be stored here. Now, if I say here, if I write an expression here like this, say int x is equals to okay, so int of 8.6 plus 3.4. If you write like this, okay, so here the meaning is only this 8.6 is converted to integer. Okay, this floating point number is converted to integer. That means this becomes 8 here. This becomes 8 here. Okay, so then it is an expression like this 8 plus 3.4. 8 plus 3.4. 8 plus 3.4 means again one is integer, one is floating point type here. I'll write this answer here so that you can see clearly. Okay, so it is nothing but int of 12.0. Okay, so then you'll get the result as a 12 here. Okay, so in this case the result of this expression will be, now see, it will become 8 there. Okay, so int of 8.6 will become 8 plus then this is 3.4. Okay, so when one is floating point type, one is integer type, then this integer will be upgraded to float automatically by the compiler. Okay, so this will become 8.0 plus 3.4. 8.0 plus 3.4 here. Okay, so it will become 11.4. Answer will be 11.4. And when you try to store in a integer variable x here, okay, so then you will get some unexpected result here. Okay, so let me show this in a online compiler. I'll just copy this everything. So this thing I will copy. Right. So here I'll show something here. Now see, I have int x is equal to int of 8.6 plus 3.4. I enclosed this. Okay. So now if I print x value, what happens, what is printed, we will see, so that you can understand clearly. Comma x. Okay, now I'm running this. The first expression I'm evaluating. Now see, x is equal to 12, it printed. Okay, as we discussed. Okay, then this expression prints the value result as a 12. Okay, now the second case we'll see here. I'll show you the second case. Now if I remove this parenthesis, okay, so what is happening, just see here. And if I try to print x value, okay, now you can see here. 11 is printed. Okay, so that means what is happening here? 8.0 plus 3.4 floating point addition will be performed here. Okay, so then you perform this floating point addition, the result will be 11.4. You will get the result. Okay, and when you assign this result to integer type, so what happens, only this integer part will be assigned to x here. Integer part will be assigned to x and this fractional part will be truncated here. Okay, so that's why then you will get the result as a 11 here. You get the result as a 11 here. Okay, so that means don't think that if you write the type conversion, typecasting before a variable or before a constant, it applies only to this constant. It applies only to this constant. It is not applicable to the entire expression. Please remember, if it has to be applicable to the entire expression, then you have to enclose the entire expression in parentheses. Like this, you have to write, then the entire expression will be calculated first, then it will be typecasted afterwards here. Okay, the difference you should understand. For that purpose, I have given this example. Hope it is clear. Hope it is clear. Yes? Right. A simple program I'll write here. Program demonstrating explicit type conversion. Okay, so that it will be easy for you to understand more clearly. Program demonstrating explicit type conversion. Okay, so what is the next step to be written? Include the header file. Okay, so include the header file and write the main. Okay, so then begin the main. Now here I'm just declaring okay, so a variable, say double type. Okay, so double something like k is equals to, okay, so 2.345 2.345 I have stored in a k. Okay, so then I would like to store this in some variable. Okay, so I am declaring a variable int sum. Okay, instead of sum, just you say s, variable s. Okay, so s directly I am initializing here. S is equals to, okay, so k plus 5 I want to perform here. Okay, now try to see here. S is an integer type variable. Okay, so if I perform k plus 5 here, okay, so k is of double type. So that means first better for unexpected results sometimes, better you convert typecast this k into integer. Okay, typecast this k into integer. How we can typecast this into integer? That means before the variable, you have to write within the parenthesis as int. Okay, so that means the variable k is typecasted into integer first, then this addition will be performed and the result will be stored in a s. This is called a explicit type conversion. Okay, so here I am writing a comment here. Okay, I am writing a comment here. Explicit type conversion from double to integer. Explicit type conversion I am performing here from double to int type. Okay, so I am converting this double type to int type, then I am performing this addition here. Okay, so if I print this s value, what happens? Just see here. So s is equals to percentage d, then say new line, comma, yes. So what is the answer I will get here? Then return 0. Close the main. That's it. Okay, so this is a simple example for explicit type conversion. I declared a variable k whose data type is double type. Okay, so some value 2.345 is stored here. Okay, then I declared an integer variable s here. Okay, so here I am typecasting k into integer type, then adding some 5, another constant 5 to that k value. Okay, so that means k value first converted to integer type. That means k value becomes 2. 2 plus 5, 7. That 7 will be stored in s. When you print s, it prints 7 there. Okay, so just you can see the result. Okay, right. So if I run this, just see here. Now it has given a warning. Just see here. Implicit declaration of function printf. That means printf definition it is unable to find. Okay, so even though it is warning, you can ignore. Okay, so I'm getting errors here because of these double quotes. Okay, so I can remove these double quotes and I can add double quotes of this online editor. Okay, now I run this. Now you can see here. Okay, so warning it has given implicit declaration of built-in function printf. That means for printf it is unable to find out its definition. Okay, but internally compiler finds where is it. Okay, that means stdio.h. Now see here, hash include stdio.h is not available. It is saying I have not included that. Okay, so by default it will be included, but better practice is always include the header file stdio.h. Even without this, your program runs no problem. Okay, but give sometimes warning. Now a value, s value is equal to 7 you got. Okay, so now if I run this, now without warning you will get s is equal to 7. Now you can see here. So double type will be converted to integer type and then the result is printed. So 2 plus 5, 7, that 7 will be printed here. This is explicit type conversion. Okay. Clear? Right. So if you want, I can write another program for explicit type conversion. Okay. So just what I do is I add another program here to make concepts more clear. Okay. Now just see here. What I can do is I can declare now integer types will take this time. Okay. We'll take integer types this time. Now if I say int a value I am taking, okay, so a is equal to something like 25 I am taking here, okay, so then b is equals to some 13 I am taking here, b is equals to 13 I am taking here. Okay, so then I am declaring a variable of type of float. Okay, so float result or something. Assume that a variable called as a result I am declaring here. Okay, so then I say result is equals to A by B. If I say result is equal to A by B. Okay, so that means I am not doing any type conversion here. Okay, so then I print the value of result here without type conversion. Okay, so printf, now you can understand more clearly. Say without type conversion. Okay, so without type conversion, result is equal to percentage f. Okay, so what I do is percentage f, say new line, comma, I print the value of result here. Okay, so result value I am printing here. Without type conversion. Okay, so without type casting, better word is type casting you can, because explicitly we are doing in the program now. So without type casting, result is equal to, okay, so A by B, A is integer, B is integer, both A by B 25 by 13 will be calculated, both integer by integer means integer division will be performed and you will get the result as integer only. Okay, so when you print it in floating point format, it puts dot then 000 you will get here. Okay, now what we do is we'll do typecasting, explicit type conversion, and we'll see the result. Any difference we'll get, we'll try to find out that result is equal to, okay, so now I am try to convert this A into float type. Okay, how can I convert A into float type? So before the variable A, you write the data type within the parenthesis. Okay, so float, this float must be written in inside the parenthesis. Okay, so float A, then says slash B. So A will be converted into floating point type and B will be integer only. Then internally B also converted to floating point type. Then you will get the result as a floating point type. Now with type conversion, if I print what I'll get, we'll see here. Okay, so I'll remove this entire thing with the type conversion or with the type casting. Okay, so with type casting, result is equal to, I'm printing the result. Okay, so what it prints, just see the difference. Now you can understand without typecasting and with typecasting. Okay, right? So A value 25, B is equal to 13 I am taking, result is equal to A by B without any typecasting I am performing here. Okay, now here what happens, A by B, first this A by B integer by integer means integer division will be performed, then you will get integer result that will be again internally converted into floating point type and will be stored in a result, because result is a float type. Okay, so if you get 25 by 13 means how much you will get, quotient 1 you will get. Okay, so 1 will be 1.0, you will get the result as 1.0. But here when you typecast this, you will get floating point result. You can see the difference. Now see. Okay, so printf, yeah, double quotes, I'm getting the problem now. Here also I need to change these double quotes. Okay, right, now if I run this code, now you can see here without typecasting, result is equal to 1.000. Okay, so 25 by 13 means integer by integer, you will get integer result 1, and that will be stored in a variable result as a 1.00. But when you perform typecasting, A will be converted first into floating point type 25.0, then internally B is also converted to, implicit type conversion will be performed on a B. B is also converted to float 13.0, it becomes 25.0 by 13.0, then you will get the result a floating point number. That's why here the result is 1.923077 you are getting with typecasting. Okay, so this is the problem that occurs if you don't add typecasting. Okay, or if you don't use proper variables in an expression, and you may get sometimes some unexpected result, and you won't understand why I'm getting the wrong result here, because no error you will get here, but you will get only erroneous output here. Okay, so we should be very careful when we write variables in some expressions. Okay, clear? So hope implicit and explicit type conversions are clear to you. Yeah, any doubt? Any doubt in this? Right, so no doubt. So next what we do is we'll see evaluation of expressions. Okay, so already evaluation of expressions. How computer evaluates expressions? If we write some expressions in the program, how it performs. So here we can say that expressions are evaluated by the computer. Okay, so evaluated using an assignment. Assignment statement, okay, of the following form, you can say. Okay, so it will be in this form, like say variable equals to expression. This is how we write a variable is equal to expression. Okay, so what happens here, we need to understand here. Okay, so first the expression is calculated, then the result will be assigned to the variable. Okay, so we can say that when this statement is encountered by the compiler or the computer, okay, the expression is evaluated first. Okay, so that means right hand side expression is evaluated first, and the okay, and the result will be assigned the variable on the left hand side. Okay, so on the left hand side, whatever variable is present, and this new value will be stored in that variable. Okay, right? So this is how the expressions are evaluated by the computer. You should understand this. Okay, so how to write a mathematical expressions into C expressions. Okay, so I'll show you mathematical expression here, and its equivalent C expression also you should understand. Equivalent C expression, how it can be written. Okay. Right. Now, for example, I have an expression like this. Okay, so in mathematics we'll write like this, no, A into B plus C minus D. Okay, so if you have an expression like this, okay, otherwise C divided by C by D. C divided by D will write like this. Okay, so I'll just show here. Please wait. Okay, so I'll show the expression here. Otherwise, this symbol I'll replace here. So where are those multiplication symbols? Yeah, this is multiplication. Okay, A into B. Okay, then plus. Okay, so then plus C divided by D is there, for example, assume. Okay, so C then divided by D is there. Now this is the expression assume. Okay, so now it is clear, mathematical expression. Okay, now if you have an expression like this, A into B plus C by D, how in C programming this expression can be written? Okay, so it is not same as uh, written in a C language. Okay, so you should know, if you want this to be evaluated in the same manner, that means first A into B will be calculated, then C by D will be calculated, then this entire thing has to be added. That is what your intention, yes or no? Okay, so in the same manner, if it has to be calculated, its equivalent C expression will be like this. Okay, so A into B. So for into, we use star in programming. Okay, so A into B plus, okay, so then C divided by D. Okay, so that means C slash D will write. Okay, so C slash D will write. Okay, so then A into B will be calculated first, then C into D will be calculated, then both will be added afterwards. This is equivalent to C expression. Here, then second one is, say for example, you have M plus N and multiplied by A minus B. This kind of expression is there. Okay, so how equivalent C expression is written in our programming, you should understand. Okay, so that means here you should write like M plus N, and here you have to add explicitly this star symbol, because computer does not know just by writing parenthesis it is multiplication operation. No, you have to explicitly write that multiplication symbol there. Okay, so then A minus B, A minus B. Okay, clear? This is equivalent to C expression. Then if we have uh, an expression like this, A x square, okay, so plus bx plus c. Okay, so like this you have an equation like this. Say for example ax square, like this. Now how it can be written in C? Okay, because you cannot write exponent directly in C programming. What you can do is you can show by using multiplication of x 2 times. So you have to explicitly show every time multiplication, A star x star x. Okay, then plus B star x. Okay, then plus C. This is how it can be written, ax square plus bx plus c in programming. Okay, right? Then if you have an expression of a mathematical expression of this kind, okay, so I'll just copy here and afterwards I'll change this here. That means if you have like this, say AB by D is there, assume you have an expression like this, AB by D, mathematical expression. Okay, so then this should be written in C like this, A slash B, sorry, A multiplied by B, A multiplied by B, then slash D you can write. Okay, so A into B will be calculated, then by D it performs. Now for the same if you have a plus symbol here, okay, so say for example, see, I'll add an expression like this. For example, if I have something like this, plus, okay, so something like x is there. Like this, you have a mathematical expression a by d plus x, a by d plus x. Okay, so equivalent c expression, how we can write equivalent c expression? Just I'll add here, just see here. Okay, so this can be written like this in c, a by d. Okay, so then plus x, then plus x, a by d plus x. This is how it can be written. Okay, so if it has to be enclosed here in parentheses, you can enclose in parentheses, because division will be calculated anyhow first. A by d will be calculated, then plus c will be done here. Okay. Instead of this, if you have an expression like this, some a simple modification. Now see how it can be used here. I'll make change in this. Okay, so the same a by something like c plus d you have. C plus d you have. Now see, a by c plus d you have. Okay, or when you have this, okay, right. So equivalent c expression, now just see here. So it can be written like this. Okay, so a by, you may be assuming that it can be written like this, c plus d. A by c plus d. Okay, but it is wrong. It is wrong. Okay, because when you write like this, first a by c is calculated, then d will be added to the result. But you want a c plus d to be in the denominator. This with this c plus d, a has to be divided. Okay, so in such case, you have to enclose this c plus d in a parenthesis. Okay, so first c plus d is calculated first, then this will become the denominator, a by the result will be performed. If you don't write parentheses here, then you will get erroneous result. Your answer will be wrong. Clear? Okay, so these are the some of the mathematical expressions and equivalent C expressions. Hope I made it clear. Any doubt in this? You have any doubts? A by C plus D, right? Good. Who is this? 505. 505. Given correct answer, right? Excellent. Okay, so then we have another important topic. This is operator precedence. Operator precedence and associativity. Okay, so these two terms generally will come across in programming. Operator precedence and associativity. Okay, that means in an expression, when you have more than two operators of a same type, more than two operators of a same type. Okay, so then which one is calculated first? That is the ambiguity to the compiler. Okay, so then it has to resolve that confusion. Okay, so that confusion will be resolved by using this precedence. That means C language developer, they have given priority to each and every operator. Like you have some BODMAS rule in mathematics, no? That means they have given priority to the operators. like BODMAS brackets. Okay, then order of exponentiation, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. This is the order in which expressions are evaluated. Okay, similarly, compiler should understand these priorities. Okay, so that is called precedence. In C programming or in programming languages, we call them as operator precedence. Okay, so just I'll add something here so that you can understand easily. In just see here. Okay, C means C language. Okay, so each operator has a precedence. Each operator has a precedence associated with it. Every operator is given some priority. Okay, so when this priority is used, this precedence. Okay, so this precedence is used to determine how an expression. Okay, so how an expression involving more than one operator is evaluated. Okay, so that means when you have more than one operator in an expression, okay, so which operator has to be calculated first, how that expression has to be evaluated, that is where the precedence of operators is used. That is the place where the precedence of operators is used by the compiler. Okay, so like this we have seen an example here. Okay, so A star B plus C by D is there. Okay, whether it has to calculate B plus C first, then divide with D, then multiply with A, or A multiplied with B it has to do first. Okay, then add it to C, then divide the result with D. How it has to perform? Okay, so someone should dictate the compiler to calculate in a particular manner. Okay, so that is indicated by using this operator precedence. Okay, so that's why they have defined precedence to every operator. Okay, so this precedence is used to determine how an expression is evaluated. Okay, so we using that precedence because multiplication division has more precedence than addition. That's why A into B is calculated first, then C divided by D is calculated, then these two will be added. The two results will be added then. That's why you will get the correct answer in the computer. Okay, so now how this is evaluated, just see here. Okay, so the operators at the highest precedence. Okay, so highest level of precedence, you can say higher level of precedence, are evaluated first. Okay, so highest level precedence operators are evaluated first. Assume that there are two operators with same precedence, then how it should be done? Okay, it's like, say for example, you have an expression like A multiplied by, I'll write it like this, A multiplied by B divided by C. Assume like this. Okay, so then how it has to perform calculation, whether multiplication and division both are of same precedence, same priority. A into B has to be calculated first, or B divided by C has to be calculated first. Okay, so this is the ambiguity again when there are operators of same precedence. Okay, so in such case, the word associativity comes into picture. When there are same precedence operators, we use this associativity. The compiler uses, V means the compiler here. The compiler uses associativity to resolve the ambiguity. Okay, so operators of the same precedence. Now you can say operators of the same precedence. Okay, or evaluated either from left to right or from right to left. Okay, so that means when you have an expression like say for example a by c into d is there. Okay, as I said, a into b by c. Okay, so that means with the same precedence operators, they are evaluated either from left to right or from right to left. This is known as precedence. Okay, so this is known as associativity. Okay, that means while traversing the example, I'll tell you here. Okay, so just see here, A by B into C is there. You can take in any order. Okay, so A by B into C is there. That means when you traverse this expression from left to right, whichever comes first, you calculate first. That is called associativity. We are informing. Okay, sometimes for some operators, right to left, when you traverse this, whichever comes first, you calculate that first. Okay, so then you calculate the next one. Okay, that means for some operators the associativity is from left to right. For some operators the associativity is from right to left. Okay, so for which operators you have left to right associativity, for which operators you have right to left associativity, you need to understand. Then you can understand how the compiler is calculating, how the compiler is performing these calculations of these expressions. Okay, so that's why this associativity is very, very important to be known being a computer science student. Clear? Understood? Okay, so there is a list. That means you need to find out a list of all the operators available on the keyboard. Whatever operators are there, then for them, which is the highest priority and what is its associativity, you should know. Okay, so just take the list and I am trying to give you the exhausted list, a complete list, so that whenever you go for interview, it will be helpful to you. Okay, so this is known as associativity property. You can say associativity property of an operator. We call it as associativity property of operator. When we use associativity, that means when there are same precedence operators in an expression. Okay, same precedence operators are there, how they are to be evaluated. Okay, so that will be determined by the associativity. That means either from left to right or from right to left. Clear? So I'll give you a few examples. The list I am giving here. Just see here, I am writing operator. Okay, so complete list I am giving here. Then you can see it's a description. Operator description also I am mentioning here. Okay, so then associativity. Okay, so then finally I am giving it's a precedence. Okay, so for each precedence I am showing just like a numbers. Precedence means priority. Okay, so priority 1 means highest Precedence, important. That is very, very important. That is how we understand here. Okay. A simple example I will give you here. Now see this parenthesis. Okay. Parenthesis, and this is nothing but function call. Okay. So when we talk about functions, you will come across this. This is a function call statement, and this will have highest priority. Function call will be having the highest priority. Okay, and its associativity is left to right. Left to right. Left to right. Okay, so this can be shown in capital letters like this, left hyphen right, L R. In some textbooks, you can see these kind of notations, L hyphen R. That means left to right. Okay, so then its precedence is 1. That means this is the highest priority, 1. Okay, so like this highest priority order elements will be like this. Arrays are there. Okay, so this is array reference. I'm giving the list here. Array reference. Okay, so these are all comes under a precedence 1. Okay, until I show precedence 2, they all comes under a precedence 1 only. Okay, so next plus plus operator. Okay, so this is, what is this operator? Increment operator. Increment operator. Okay, so associativity is same as this only, left to right only. Here you can use dot dot symbol, or I can say this L hyphen R. Okay, so left to right, this means. Then you have minus minus. Okay, so this is called this is called as a decrement operator. Okay, so decrement operator, and for this also associated is left to right. Okay, so all these comes under a priority 1. Now see here, the highest priority operators are like function call and array. Okay, so these topics when we cover will come across this, but out of operators, the highest priority operator is increment, then comes a decrement operator. Increment has the highest priority, increment and decrement operators, and their associativity is left to right. Their associativity is left to right. I'll give you an example on this left to right in tomorrow's class. Okay, like this, I have an exact list of all the operators. Tomorrow, we'll take the list of all the operators with their associated and precedence. I'll give you some examples also on this. Okay, understanding this associated and precedence is very, very important. Clear? Same operators, not same operators, same operators, same precedence operators, you can say there. Who is this? 551, right? Okay, this is how you can remember. Precedence is used by the compiler to calculate when more than one operator is there. When more than one operator is there in an expression, then first it uses precedence. And when there are more than one operator of same precedence, okay, same precedence operators are there, then associativity it uses. This associativity helps in evaluating such expression, either from left to right or right to left. This is okay, right? So I'll stop here. Any doubts in this? Is it okay or getting bored? Because these are the some of the important things I thought of sharing with you. Okay, because you are all computer science, and even if you read in textbook, it becomes very difficult to go through, understand these concepts. Okay, so what is precedence, what is associativity, without uh, knowing them. If you read, then it will be Greek and Latin for you. Okay, so that's why I'm sharing my knowledge with you, so that it will be helpful in your life. Right? Okay. So we'll stop here. Let me just check out how many members joined the class. 118 members. 5G9. Any doubt? He raised a hand. 5G9. If you have any doubt, just you can drop a message in the chat box. Let me